Welcome to the OS Marketing Report, your weekly breakdown of what's happening in marketing, what's working, and what you should do about it. I'm Travis.
I'm Lauren.
Now let's get into what's changed across the social platforms, today's weekly pulse. Up first, Instagram's made a tweak to their algorithm. I don't know if you guys have noticed in the past, but the Explore feed and Reels content just seems a little bit disconnected. I don't know where my Explore feed ever came from, but they announced this week that they're unifying their content delivery system, and that interested, not interested button or system that you can use to vote on what content you like is now going to spread across the entire platform. So basically what they're doing is they're trying to move away from them just suggesting whatever they think works for you to finding out what each user likes. So anytime that you do influence the system by telling Instagram what you like or what you don't like, it's now going to work across the entire platform. So your Explore feed is going to start to be a little bit more unified with your Reel system.
Yes, and sorry if I may cut you off, is that what's very interesting is that I've already optimized our own social media page, which anyone who's listening should definitely go check out, because I actually made a video showing how you can actually update the algorithm in real time, which is going through the Explore page, top right corner, there's like a little hamburger menu. Click on that, it'll push you over to the actual algorithm suggestion, like the topic suggestions. And I definitely have done that for our own for our business page as well as my personal page. So I highly recommend it because I immediately saw the difference.
Yeah, and I'm not sure if it's backtracking to what you've done in the past, because I've done the interested, not interested stuff in the past, and it never changed my Explore feed. Anytime I went to my Explore feed, it was like something new every single time, and it was always something I didn't care about. So I haven't used the Explore feed in a while, but this is supposed to help that and drive more traffic to the Explore feed.
Yeah. And I used to joke about how Instagram is listening. And then for a while, I was like, it is not listening. It is trying to persuade me to have kids. And as a dink, right, double income, no kid, I'm not interested in having babies anytime soon. So why are all these pregnant women showing up on my feed when that is not of my interest, right? I liked seeing animal accounts. I follow more animal accounts than people. So show me more animals.
Right. And for brands, I mean, what this means for you guys is trying to stick into your content pillars, the three to four consistent content lanes that you post on. The more you go outside of that, the more you post random content, the harder it's going to be for Instagram to understand who you are, and the harder it's going to be for them to put you on users' Explore feeds.
Yep. And that's exactly what I did for OS's page. It's it is a range of marketing updates. It is looking into trends. It is also looking for motivation within the space as well. And I'm not going to lie, there are definitely some humor pages involved in there too, but it still relates to marketing.
And up next, we have TikTok. TikTok had made a release for their AI videos. They have a Seedance update. If you go onto your TikTok and create a video, there's going to be a pop-up that says AI scan you. I actually did it yesterday, and it's pretty weird at first. You have to say a couple of words, turn your head sideways, get a full profile of yourself. But then you're just allowed to create a video by giving it a prompt, like you're talking to ChatGPT. And it does all the work in the background. So what it'll do is it'll create a full-on video around the prompt that you gave it. It'll use yourself and your likeness. It'll try and use your voice in the video. But the special thing that I've noticed about it isn't the AI. I mean, the video's all right. The image of you is good, but they make a lot of cuts, and they'll have a lot of different scenes and sections in it. So my video was the short one-sentence prompt, and I think it had 5 different video edits inside that. And they're not trying to advertise it as a full-on content replacement. They're trying to advertise it as testers. They want you to start putting out these AI videos to test out what versions of your videos work well, how you should be cutting your videos, and give you ideas on how to record your videos in the future. So
you guys will not believe the update they just dropped. Look at the detail on this. It's insane. This changes every single thing about content creation. I'm not kidding.
I'm using it as a way to just send out example videos, and it gives me ideas on how I can re-video or re-record some of those content pieces. You also see which ones work, if there's more edits that are performing better than the long form, videos with no edits. But it's a little freaky at first, but it seems like it's heading in the right direction. It's going to help you create better content.
So completely agree with what you're saying. What I found very interesting with the clip that you showed me is that, again, the first thing I thought of is that if there's anyone who is uncomfortable being on screen, they can absolutely use this for inspiration and figuring out what camera angles to use, figuring out how you want to present on camera, or you have an example of whether you like how it's presented or not how it's presented. And again, you get to test, A/B testing is so crucial in marketing that this is just another efficient way to continue to test that kind of content that lands with anyone's audience.
Yeah, and you can scan in multiple users, and it looks like users will be able to like public, set their profile to public or set their AI image to public, and you can use other people's images as well. So I'm assuming that down the road, they're going to let you just create these videos with anyone that has one of those public avatars, and you can just create videos on your account without even putting yourself on there if you don't want to.
Right.
Moving on, we have LinkedIn. LinkedIn had another update. They're updating their search in a pretty cool way. So they're moving away from a keyword-specific search to kind of natural English search language. So when you're searching on LinkedIn, they want you to just search like a normal English conversation instead of just searching up a specific keyword. And it's pretty interesting because we see this trend across all platforms, but what it's telling me is it wants you to create content with specific words and specific people in mind. So I want you to be crystal clear when you're posting on LinkedIn so that they can understand who you're trying to reach and who you're trying to help. So I think with all these platforms using AI to help, to leverage, it's just more and more important to just be as clear as you can when you're posting your content. Speak exactly what you're trying to do and who you're trying to reach.
Yes, exactly. And like I have personally started to see that difference, like while engaging for clients or for our own personal page, which again, people should go follow. But what's interesting is that I don't think necessarily hashtags are dead, but you can see the difference in people, instead of using or prioritizing hashtags, they are being more descriptive or putting keywords at the bottom of the caption rather than actual hashtags. So it's very interesting to see how things have changed and how they'll continue to.
Yeah, and I think it's a lot more powerful when you're using an English sentence to chain together a couple keywords in the search. You can find a specific result, where before I would try and put in like, social media marketer in St. Louis, and sometimes I'd get just people in St. Louis, sometimes I get just social media marketers. Now it's like hyper focus on exactly what I search for. So again, the more details you can pack into your post, the better.
Yes. And a huge takeaway too with this specific feature is the examples that I saw, like this will be really crucial for anyone trying to hire through LinkedIn as well. Like exactly what you said. Like if you're trying to pinpoint a certain person or a certain a certain industry or certain skills in a certain location, this feature will absolutely help with that kind of search.
We spend a lot of time on our job descriptions, so the ability to cut and paste a job description and throw it directly into the search bar is a game changer. It doesn't require capital ands or capital ors or using advanced filters to narrow down the talent pool. You can use natural language and your job descriptions. All in all, it probably takes about 1 to 2 minutes to set up a new search. I let advanced AI assisted search do its thing, and within minutes, I was able to have 15 profiles in my inbox. I'm able to focus on what's important in the role, which is a good candidate experience, hiring manager satisfaction, and ultimately quality phone interviews and getting top talent over to the company.
All right, last up, we have Meta. Meta has another update. They're making it a little bit easier to connect your pixel and set up your tracking. So I think this is a little bit bigger of an update than a lot of people might think, because most of the accounts that we see that have issues or that think their ads aren't performing well, because their tracking isn't set up right, because it is pretty confusing and hard to set up your tracking the right way. And the way that Meta and Facebook and their ads work is they like to feed themselves information based off your ads and then optimize your ads to reach the right audience. And if your tracking isn't set up right, not going to be able to optimize to find that right user. So they're using AI to make it a little bit easier to connect your pixels and your tracking in the right way so that they can better optimize your ads.
Yes. Couldn't agree more again how crucial this is as someone who works or has helped with especially like setting up like Meta pixels or any kind of Facebook ads. Is absolutely helps when it comes to collecting data, analyzing it, and again, seeing what works, what doesn't work, and what could ultimately save businesses for saving money when running these ads, because it's not cheap.
Yeah. And now in the name of ads, let's talk about a good ad campaign that's working well in this week's breakdown of the week. We have a Target and Pokemon 30th anniversary collaboration campaign. And this is a launch by Target. It's coming out in the next couple months. They've been running ads about it on TikTok and all socials. And the thing that I like about this campaign is that instead of going with a popular celebrity like we talked about last week with American Eagle and Sydney Sweeney, they're leveraging just normal content creators online that are already posting and talking about Pokemon.
I used to think our wedding day would be the best day of my husband's life.
It's literally a dream come true. I am in heaven right now.
And now I'm not so sure. Because today we were invited to shoot an exclusive campaign for Pokemon and Target, and Noah got to model some of the products. Noah has loved Pokemon since he was a kid, and it's even a big part of our marriage now. So to see him be a model for this is so amazing.
So this is a 30th anniversary, a little bit nostalgic, but they're leaning into the social media already, what's existing out there. And the other good thing about this campaign is they're treating it in a couple of limited drops. So the way that the whole Pokemon fandom works right now is really popular with card ripping and limited edition cards. They're kind of playing off of that and giving limited edition clothing. So you'll find a couple of those rolling out. The first drop is going to be in May, and then a second drop is going to be about a month after that. But you have to get in the stores while you can, because otherwise they're going to be gone. So trying to incentivize users to hop in their stores a little bit more.
Which is smart. Honestly, I think a lot of people enjoy a limited drop. I know Nike is kind of notorious for that, or like, what are they? Like the Nike shoes, Air Jordans.
Yep.
Like they are notorious for limited edition drops. And I think that definitely adds to like the urgency of like a sale or like a certain campaign, which absolutely drives traffic. I'll be curious and like definitely keeping an eye on how results are coming in. But I think it's so crucial, especially for kind of like our generation, because we grew up with Pokemon and now here we are able to afford the things that we love still at a young age. And I feel like that's really powerful. And I know that as soon as that new Eevee shirt drops, I am running to the store.
Yeah. And they're actually, what I like too, if you see any of the ad campaigns coming out, like I said, they're using content creators that are already in the Pokemon space, and they're treating them kind of like Pokemon trainers. So they're kind of gamifying a little bit, making it a little fun, having a little fun with the advertisements. And I think that's a lot better of a move in this in 2026 than spending millions of dollars on, Ryan Gosling to promote Pokemon.
Yeah, I completely agree. And also, I have to say, I was actually just helping. My brother just got a new house, right? And so he's moving a bunch of things in. There's still some stuff at my parents' house. And I happen to be at my parents' house while helping like clean out some of these things. I found my brother's original Pokédex, like from when we were kids. And I'm like, it doesn't work. Like, it needs a new battery. But like, this thing is so old. It does not have a charger. It takes like either AA batteries or it's like one of those like little circle batteries. So I thought that was a really fun find. And I feel like it absolutely, and it's like, what are the odds that this timing would happen again with this campaign? So I feel like it all kind of, it's still all relevance, even if it is 30 years later, which is again, really crazy.
Yeah, it's wild. They're still bringing the us from back in the day back, and they have the brand new audience as well. So Target's kind of crushing it, pairing up with Pokemon this 30th anniversary.
As they should. And I was going to say, one of the most powerful emotions that you can implement into any marketing is nostalgia. And it's like, 30 years, like, it's not necessarily old, it's not necessarily young, but it is absolutely nostalgia that is kicking in or tapping in with other generations, whether it's ours, above, below, whatever it is. It's, again, it creates an emotion that when, I forget who said this, but like there is a marketing phrase where it's like when emotions go high, reasoning goes down. And I can tell you, I am feeling very unreasonable about having to wait for this campaign to drop.
All right. Now let's kick it over to the marketing playbook. This week, Lauren's going to be covering scheduling the content.
Yes. So just to kick things off. So last week we built out a content calendar that covers a whole month. Granted, that was a made up company, everything about that. So what I am going to do this week is to show you what our actual content calendar looks like. And so I have some placeholders in our content calendar that are absolutely real. Again, make sure to follow us on social media to see these actually be published in real time. So what I'm going to do is, again, give a general breakdown of what my desktop looks like, because I am normally posting from my desktop. However, I will also be showing some mobile views, because even though there's no data to show that like using a different scheduler or a third-party scheduler does not prevent any engagement or reach or anything like that with your clients or your audience, I personally like using the actual platform scheduler because, again, it gives you a lot of leverage on making sure you have the right sound, making sure it's timed correctly. So I am going to be walking through what that looks like through Meta as well as LinkedIn. And so I'm just going to do a quick view of what my desktop looks like right now.
Yeah, while you're getting that up, I think it is important too on using the native schedulers inside of the apps. In the past, when we've used third parties, I've noticed that I've missed certain releases or updates to the platforms, and they'll put things in like a way to find trending audio or a way to link this or tag something in your post that if you're using third parties, you might not see because you're not in the app posting.
Yes, bane of my existence. doesn't matter what scheduler it's been on, going through the actual platform really helps especially when it comes to tagging, which is so crucial. Like, yeah, so couldn't agree more with that. Okay, so quick breakdown is that, so you can see here, we have some of the previous months down here below, and I am making sure I'm in May. You can see here, I have all the dates listed. I don't have all the placeholders in yet, but again, I just wanted to make this as direct as possible when showing this. So what we have here is, in context, is that when it comes to Monday Motivation, we don't post that on our LinkedIn page because we want to share more business updates, as that's more like the audience for LinkedIn. So what we have here is that I have our primary accounts figured out, where again, we're Instagram and Facebook heavy. However, when it comes to like, you're building out content so that there's room to be spontaneous. So we don't know what might be trending around this time frame, but again, it's about 2 weeks out, give or take. And so we're going to, again, give ourselves a little bit of leeway to continue to see what's going on the platforms, and like putting a post up in real time to see what kind of trends pop up. So again, we're building room to be spontaneous, and that's built into the content calendar.
Yeah, okay. That's right around the time that the Pokemon campaign will be dropping at Target. So maybe there's a Pokemon friendly post that we can kind of play off of if that's going viral at the time.
Absolutely. Okay. So I am going to be kind of switching back and forth between showing what this looks like on mobile versus on desktop. And so I'm going to go in chronological order as well. So with this first one, since I'm only going to be doing this on Instagram, I already pre-recorded this. So I am going to go ahead and do this now. Okay, 1 second. I kind of want to make sure that this is me personal note. Not playback speed. All right, I don't know if this is going to... Oh, here. Okay, I'm going to turn the volume down so I can speak over it. Okay. So, that's... Okay, so really quick. So I'm going to pause this. Priority is that when it comes to creating this, I have not only my desktop organized, but when it comes to having things in your phone, I have my photos organized as well. So I have this whole album, and again, feel free to steal it, but it's just titled Overlay Caption, because I know that this is content I'm going to use for Monday Motivation stuff, which I already had in my camera reel. This is not stock photos, it's not whatever. So I chose to go all the way down, like this covers multiple years of content that I've taken myself. So here we go. I selected a nice aesthetic one. I knew I took this in the Midwest, which is again where our primary, or where a chunk of our audience is. And I am adding text on screen. I did not add this in Canva or anything. This is all within my phone. And I am building out what is this Monday Motivation post. So again, making sure everything looks good. I'll turn the volume up really quick so you can see that I am making sure everything is timed correctly, or I'm selecting some kind of music well, that's loud. There we go. We love golden hour, right? All right. So everything feels like it matches with like the tone of everything. And I pop on over. I make sure that the cover photo looks really good on the profile grid. And here I go, make it the caption. And again, it's kind of like, can I say it? Just do that really quick, because now it's going to be a lot of typing. All right. So again, making sure my caption looks good and adding a couple hashtags, it never hurts. And again, we always need a little motivation on Monday, or it's always nice to not believe everything you think. So we're going to do an affirmation. So we're double checking to make sure that this will go out on Facebook as well. And then we're going to hit schedule. And really quick, I wanted to go back here. So how you get to schedule is, not sure if you can see it. So down here, after you get your caption, go to more options. Poof. And then that's where you're going to see where you can post to Facebook as well. And again, we're going to schedule this out for the date that we have in mind, which over here is May 4th. May the 4th be with you. And then we're going to hit schedule. And here's the trippy thing really quick, is that after this gets scheduled, you're going to see posted to Optimize Solution. You're like, no, I scheduled this. Here's how you go find your scheduled post. Hang on, again, moving a little quick because I sped it up. So back when where you can post and everything, you're going to actually hit post, and right there, you'll see recents, drafts, and then you get to check out schedule. So that is where it now lives. And again, you can double check to make sure it's for the date that you have in mind. Alrighty. So now that was Instagram. And now what we're going to do is actually go over to Facebook to see what this looks like. So here's our homepage. Again, please follow us. And you're going to go to Meta Business Suite. Boop, 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 boop. Alrighty. Then down here in Planner. Yes. Okay, so you can see that we have some of this stuff already posted and whatnot. We're going to go to Create Post. We're going to make sure that we have both our accounts set up. And again, this is one of the problems, is that you can't add photo or you can't add audio when it comes to making these posts through Meta ads. That's why I'm like, you kind of want to schedule through Facebook, because adding music on Instagram kind of makes it seem like a reel, and reels are king content on, social media. Okay. So again, we have that in order. I don't think all to be up. Make sure to double check your work. All right. So in this case, we are not going to actually change. Well, let me back up. So we're going to make sure we have the right content. So here we go. And with this, you can change you can change the caption per platform. However, unless there's a link, like you don't necessarily have to do this. But I will say Facebook allows links that you can click on within the caption. Instagram does not. That's when you're going to see a link in bio, and that's when you're going to update what that caption looks like. In this case, though, I do not have a link. You can also double check to make sure that, maybe not marketing strategy. Okay, and then branding. Let's just, okay.
Probably say tagging as well in comment or in the description section, because Facebook and Instagram will have different usernames, right? If you're tagging someone.
Great call out. Exactly it. And I'm like, just in this case, I'm like, it's not necessarily relevant, but moving forward, or if you do have posts where that is relevant with tagging people, absolutely do that. All right, so then under here, we see schedule. We're going to double check the date again, which is going to be 5/5, Cinco de Mayo. Let's go over here. We're going to, again, make sure that all of this looks good. Our prime time is 10 a.m. And maybe I can show that next week on how to find your primary time to do this. Really quick. When it says share to, let's see if it'll, let's confirm. Okay, good. Okay, so this is something different with Facebook versus Instagram scheduling. Here, you can actually schedule out when to share to your stories. On Instagram, if you try to schedule out to like something to share to your story, it's going to say not everything is going to be going over accordingly. So just something to keep in mind. All right, then let's hit schedule. Boop, 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 boop. All right, done. And then it will kick you back over here, and you can see that everything is scheduled. So now what I'm going to do is actually pop over to our LinkedIn. Again, please follow. What you're going to do when it comes to scheduling on LinkedIn is go over here. You are going to pop into start a post. We do different captions for our platforms. So I want to make sure I got the right message. We're going to add it here. Media. I already have it kind of pre-saved. Select the ones you want. Okay, we got spring, summer, fall, winter. Awesome. Next. Alrighty, then what you're going to do is you're going to see this little icon. You're going to select that. We want this to where, again, Cinco de Mayo, right here. And 10 a.m. is our prime time. So that's what we're going to keep it as. All right, next. And then you're going to see schedule. So make sure it doesn't say post. Make sure it's a schedule. Alrighty. And I'm not sure if you heard that, but it confirmed that little post or that little noise. Okay. So if you want to see where you can to, like, if you want to see where your scheduled posts are, what you're going to do is go back into creating a post, but instead of actually putting anything, you're going to just see schedule for later. And then you're going to see this icon, view all scheduled posts, which here you can now double check your work and making sure, again, you're posting it on the right date, on the right time. Okay. So that was LinkedIn. Now, all right. So now what's crazy is that I'm going to be showing content that, again, I already did before this call. But what's trippy about Meta ads is that, or Meta Business Suite, is that you can actually see what's scheduled in Instagram transfer over into business ads. But you can double check your scheduled content within Instagram, which will be posted to Facebook, if that makes sense. So what I'm going to do here is start to show, again, what it looks like when it comes to scheduling additional content. I'm going to put this down just in case. Oh, this is something. So back in here, we can see here a quick takeaway. So what I did personally is that I recorded a bunch of content previously and optimized it within our Instagram page. And the thing is, though, is that I only have access to these pre-recorded clips, but Travis does not, even though we're on the same account. Your drafts are based on your geolocation. So if you recorded a bunch of content and you have a team, whoever recorded that content on their phone is the one that's going to have to schedule and post it.
Yeah,
so
and that's going to be consistent. Sorry, that's going to be consistent across every app, TikTok, Facebook, Instagram. It's going to be locally stored onto your phone. So if you save a draft, it's only on your phone. You're not going to be able to share that with anybody else. Everyone wants it to happen, but none of these platforms are making.
Yeah, we'll see, right? Okay, so where you're going to start is on the business profile or your personal profile, depending on where you're going to do it, and you're going to pop over to the Reels tab, and there you're going to find your drafts, right? I have them all listed. And again, you can see that I recorded a bunch of them, but it's easy to reference back to what was created and whatnot. So here we go. I'm actually going to speed this up a little bit. Okay. So again, this is something, is that I didn't like my face in I didn't like my face in this photo, right? And I'm like, there isn't necessarily a call out moment for like within the clip that doesn't have text on screen that would fit within the profile grid. So what I did was create a graphic, and I'm adding from my camera roll, and I made sure it was one of the first things there. So it's easy to optimize and be efficient with your time. And then here, again, just creating the caption, just going to move forward. And again, follow us to see this post go out in real time. We're making sure we got the hashtags. And here we go again with checking where everything is going to be posted. So again, just to be clear, we have also share on optimized solution. Yep, check. All right, more options. This is again where we're going to find schedule your reel. And over here, we're double checking to make sure we're doing it on the right day, right? So that is going to be May 6th, which is one of my best birthdays. Just fun fact. Alrighty. Doop. All right, keep going. And schedule. And again, don't be freaked out as soon as you get the pop. Actually, so you can see it. So down here, it's a little bit blocked. But again, don't freak out when you see posted to optimize solution. What you're going to do is go back over. You're going to go to post. And there it is. Oh, just joking. Hang on. I was moving a little too fast. Post. And here you can see scheduled. And now you see the last two posts that you did there. And you're good to go. Scheduled May 6th at 10 a.m., which again is our prime time. Okay. Final one that I have to share is going to be Mother's Day. And again, we're going to do Mother's Day weekend, since Sunday is not necessarily a prime time for us to post. And it's always a good shout out. And Travis, you're going to enjoy this because I forgot to ask you for a photo of you and your mom. So I created one for you. I'm not sure if you saw that, but one second, we're going to select.
It looked pretty, that looks like me and my mom. Yeah.
Yeah, pretty much. The only thing I think is missing is a UE hat. Which I did try to go and find, but Canva did not have just like a plain baseball hat situation.
Yep,
okay,
but that's nailed my mom's hairstyle.
Oh, perfect. Oh my gosh, right. So the difference with this post again is that it's a carousel, right? More than one photo. And the primary thing here is that we want it to add music, which you can't do in business ads or like in meta business. So there's been a trending song, Everything Hallelujah, with Justin Bieber. He just performed that at Coachella, I want to say. And so figured it's nice. I am not going to keep this post just to make sure. Hey, this is an unedited one because then you can see where I go in and, okay. I did try to edit this. Okay. All right. Cut back in. All right. So I chose Everything Hallelujah since that's been trending because of Justin Bieber at Coachella. But again, we're scheduling it out. We're making sure it's a prime time to post. It is May 8th, which we have over here, and we're making sure it's 10 a.m., right? You got to be careful about that. And again, here we go. Travis looking good with his font. And we are scheduling it out. And again, don't be scared about this. Oh, wait, actually, different call out. Sometimes Instagram will do this where it's like, oh, you can actually view your scheduled post in real time. I'm not sure if that means you need to have 3 posts already scheduled out before you get that little pop-up. Because previously it was just saying it posted. But again, all we're going to do is pop over here and we see our scheduled tab, which again, now you can see all 3 listed and saved. And again, just a last minute shout out to Travis and his men. Alrighty. So there you go. That's everything really quick that we have listed, and we have the first week of May already taken care of. So, and altogether, granted, I'm kind of doing more of a walk right now, but I want to say altogether it took less than an hour to schedule everything out, especially when your desktop is organized, your captions are organized, and you're able to double check or cross-reference in real time of scheduling out content. So there you go.
That's why it's so important to create a content calendar so that you can put your content in place, record your content, get your content created, so that you can do it all at one time. Because this would have taken you 10 times the amount of time if you had to go back every single day to create a piece, go and schedule it. Next day, create a piece, go and schedule it.
Yes. And then again, it all comes back to building up content so that you have room to be spontaneous, because we have a placeholder for May 7th, which again, maybe the Pokemon drop is out, maybe it'll be relevant to where either of us live. But if not, we have the bandwidth and the knowledge or like the awareness to go and kind of keep an eye on things so that again, we can be present in real time when that post comes up.
Yep. And I know this has come up before, but how long in advance, how far in advance can you schedule content? You can't do it, for forever. You only get a limited amount of time you can schedule out.
So fun fact is that with Instagram and Facebook, you can really only do 28 to 30 days in advance, which I really think should be closer to like 60 to 90 days, because that is like congruent or parallel with LinkedIn. Like LinkedIn, you can really schedule out content at least 60 days out from my experience, if not longer. However, again, not the case with Instagram and Facebook. Like they will limit how often you can really get in there.
Right. Thank you for showing that content calendar scheduling, because that's a thing a lot of people just kind of freeball and just do in real time. And like I said, it takes a lot of time if you're doing that. Right.
And like there's the adage of days are long, but the years are short. It's like, no, every day is crazy with work, it seems like. So like, don't wait for the slow season to come along. Like batch it and keep batching as much as you can, because that will save you time down the line. Like right. Like you'll have that. It's like you'll have that hindsight where you're like, oh, I should have batched more. Or, oh, I should have scheduled this out in advance. You don't have to do that as much when you schedule out that content.
Yeah, it helps you stay consistent too. If you're just kind of playing it day by day, it's so easy to just skip a day. And once you skip one day, you skip 2 days. So keeping ahead of it definitely helps you keeps you posting.
That's it.
All right, let's get into this week's marketing quick hits. Last week we played Trash or Gas, and we're going to do it again because it was pretty fun. So let's get into it.
This week's questions with number 1. All right, Travis, what do you think? Posting random content across multiple topics to just see what works.
I think it's trash with a caveat. I think if you're just starting and getting it figured out, you kind of have to see what's working and where your lane is. But once you've figured out your lanes, stay consistent. And if you are posting randomly, that's where the trash comes in. You want to clarify to the audience, to the algorithm, who you are, what you are, and who you're trying to help. And once you figure that out, stay consistent.
Yes. And just really quick, something that's referred to in like part of this, like just posting to see what sticks, right? We're throwing pasta on the wall. That is kind of like a loose term referred to as like a shotgun strategy.
Okay. Pull. I got it! Can I do it again? What's wrong?
And what you really want to do, which is how you just described it, is a sniper strategy. Or again, targeted language, but you might be thinking of like different avenues to share content versus posting a cooking video, posting like a vlog, or then posting like work updates or something like that. Like again, like that was a random example, but again, you don't want the shotgun strategy, you want the sniper strategy. All right.
Yep.
So now going into question 2, using AI to generate multiple versions of a video before filming.
I'd say that's gas, and as many ways as you can. Thumbnails is a great use of AI. But as we just talked about in the TikTok world, using that to just get ideas out there or to get the same idea out there, but with different formats, different hooks.
Yeah.
Start testing. Use it to test. I mean, these platforms are putting out AI for a reason. They want you to use this. And the more you use it, the more you're going to learn about your content, and the more you're going to learn what works. And if it's flopping, you don't have to keep doing it. So use it to test, figure out what's working.
you didn't spend an extra 5 minutes and it ended up taking actually 2 hours. And then, oh wait, it actually took 10 hours. And now you're like, you got 2 followers, 5 unfollows, and 0 shares, right? Using AI to optimize and be more efficient with your time, again, will just help you keep moving forward.
Yeah, it's crazy because the AI tool on TikTok works in the background. So you can create like 10 of those videos and takes you like 30 seconds to a minute to just create those prompts and move on to the next one. It'll create it, put it in your drafts for you. You can move on with your day.
Yes. Yep, exactly. So, all right, number 3, keeping your LinkedIn headline creative instead of clear.
Trash. That's a thing of the past. Just like we talked about with YouTube last week, is you want to be as crystal clear as you can about your messaging. These platforms are leveraging AI. The AI is reading your content and it needs to know who you're talking to and what you're talking about. So being mysterious isn't the way to go anymore. Be crystal clear, slap them in the face, talk to the average American in a 5-year-old sentence and explain exactly what you want to accomplish with the post.
Yeah, like there is a theory again in marketing where it's like either 588 or 558, I forget what it is, but you have 5 seconds to get someone's attention. You should have like a 5th grade reading level, which is the national average, which is just information that you now know, and then maximum 8 words. That's the 558 theory, which again, not as relevant with LinkedIn, but it is better to be clear and potentially clever at some point, but ultimately you have to be clear with your messaging.
Yeah, you're not really, as much as you are speaking to the users in your audience, you're really speaking AI now. So you're talking to a computer, talk about exactly who you are and what you do. We help contractors generate inbound leads. Boom. The system knows exactly who we help and what we do with them.
Yeah, absolutely. Alrighty. Number 4 is running meta ads without properly setting up tracking.
Trash. It's always been trash. It's been harder to do in the past, but now they're making it easier and easier. So take the time to learn how to set them up properly. Take the time to understand why tracking matters, because it's going to feed the system and optimize your post. If your post isn't performing well, it might be because your tracking isn't set up or isn't set up properly.
Travis, that was my first 4, and now it is your turn.
All right, Lauren. What are your thoughts on using multiple niche creators instead of just one large influencer?
Oh, gas all the way. Because one, there have been some crazy rates with the influencers, like big influencers. Like from a past experience, there was an opportunity to work with Keith Lee. This is just an example, but was to get something going with him, it was at least 5 figures to do a story post, 6 figures to get a feed post. I'm not actually going to drop any kind of rates or anything. And he was a wonderful guy when it came to talking. The company I was at did not move forward with that, but it is just crazy how much big influencers are making from, again, paid ads. However, when it comes to niche influencers, whether that is micro or nano, when it comes to working with these kind of influencers, the smaller ones, it can still lead to huge results, because when companies are looking to partner with any kind of influencers, you really want to be paying attention to the engagement. It doesn't matter if they have 10,000 followers lower, look at the comments, because if there is a loyal audience, you will have some kind of conversions. There's even been a couple of videos where figureheads at companies have tried partnering with large influencers and 0 conversions. Versus if you work with a smaller client, again, it wasn't necessarily the same industry, it was luxury travel, but they partnered with a DIY woman who just had a really loyal fan base. And again, it was looking like a lower follower count compared to the big influencer they worked with, but saw way better conversions. So long story short is to say it is gas.
When it comes to influencers, size doesn't matter. We posted people with millions of followers and no one bought because their audience wasn't aligned. They were too young, they weren't ready to spend on a luxury getaway. Look for alignment, and it might not always be that same industry. One of our best performing influencers was this gal in the DIY home space. Her followers were so loyal. You look at their following, but really look at their engagement on their posts. Do people care? Is this influencer just constantly a billboard for a million places, or are they showing up pretty authentic to their crew? Mm-hmm. They're gonna take their input and advice to heart. So when Angela came out, she was like, guys, this is amazing. They believed her because it was authentic. And then boom, they booked like crazy.
Yeah. And if you're a local business or you rely on local traffic, I think spreading that out is going to give you hyper-targeted audience of those niche influencers following. So if you're in a town, every single town in America now has somebody that's reviewing the food in their town, somebody that's reviewing the activities in their town. Work with those people. It's going to be a little bit cheaper, and their audience is your market.
Right. And just final thought on this is that I've seen it on TikTok where it's like one of the comments is like, for you page a little too local. So again, it will prioritize your location and who's posting in that area.
All right. What do you think about launching a product without any urgency or no limited time angle to it?
Trash. Like there are definitely examples online or, from case studies that show when you have like specific language when it comes to a call to action or a CTA, like there are a lot more movements. One of the most common sales thing that we see is like there's 2 spots left, or like the 99-cent thing instead of the full dollar. Like again, there is a level of urgency or psychology that goes into creating a really engaging call to action that really drives conversions. So no matter what's going on, like there should be some kind of urgency, especially if there's a sale, when it comes to your call to action.
Yeah, you only get to launch your product once. So make it meaningful, make it worth it, have fun with it. Don't just put it out there and hope people come. Give them a reason to come.
Exactly. Great. Yes. Couldn't have said it better myself.
All right. What are your thoughts on posting content within 1 to 2 clear niches consistently?
I definitely think that's gas, because you, like in marketing, especially again, going back to the content calendar, it's hard to just keep posting about like one thing. And so like without, kind of saying like before it becomes a little redundant. So having even like 2 or 3 buckets, or in other words, temples, like that really helps, again, create a story. It provides a little bit of difference in content. And again, it kind of gets the ball rolling on what else to post, what's landing with your audience. And again, it's not necessarily like the shotgun method where you're posting everything. It's like you really are becoming an expert in these 3 topics for your company or your brand. That really helps promote your message and get, again, that the audience that you are trying to reach and the audience that wants to reach you.
Yeah, and I think you can even do more than 2 once you become an expert, like you said. So when you become an expert to the algorithm and it knows who you are and what you do, that's when you can start to add another content pillar. But I wouldn't try and go past 4. Stick to your lane and do those 4 really well.
Right. Kind of, again, like the temple, right? You have the outer rim, right? The outer poles and everything, and you're building up from there.
Yeah, and I'd say if you want to expand outside that, just make another account. It's easy to track views without having a following. Just create another account that is specific to that thing.
Mm-hmm.
All right, what are your thoughts on using trending audio if it doesn't fit your post or your content?
Honestly, if you're a brand or a company like this, it's trash, because I have seen that happen. Like, oh, I'm like there, I ruined it, or like there are some funny clips where it is like the vibe of the video does not match with the audio, and there is an element of it being funny, but those are personal accounts that I've seen. When it comes to like companies like this, no, like we even just saw in the example I shared, I had like a sunset reel attached to Monday Motivation, and I chose a song, Golden Hour, the piano version, because it's meant to be relaxing, or it's meant to be a moment where you take a deep breath. And it's like I didn't attach, like the other trending audio where there's like hard beats or like any kind of like strong lyrics that go along with that. That would be very counterproductive to what I was trying to convey with that initial post that we just did an example on. So no, trash. Just because it's trending audio does not mean it has to be in your content. Like you want them to be on the same page.
Yeah, I think it used to work before. Like back in the day when audio became a thing and TikTok was popping off, you could just post whatever was trending and it would just send it out there. But their AI is getting so much more advanced. It's understanding the context of the trend and understanding your post. And they don't want to post a trend with mismatched content because it's not going to help that trend. They want content to keep growing and keep views and keep eyeballs. So if they're putting out content that doesn't align with that trend, not in their best interest. So they're weeding those.
Yes. Alrighty. You ready for the final 4?
Let's do it.
All right. So next one is turning one long form video into multiple pieces of content.
Absolute gas. It's one of my favorite things to do. It's the easiest way to batch your content and is natural to being able to post on multiple platforms too. If you have a long form content piece, that works great on YouTube. And then you can chop that up into multiple pieces. So you spend 1 hour filming it, but you can get 20, 30 pieces of content out of that 1 hour.
Yes. One of the best advices I've ever got was, especially when it comes to like filming content on my end or for companies or anything, like the best advice I got was that it's like, it's easier to work with more content than less content. Like you can always like take back, but you can't ever make up for it. Maybe now with a little bit with AI, but like again, it's not on the same page as like when it comes to IRL content. Additionally, I feel like a great example of this is like what is it called? Hang on, I got you. Hang on, because I was doing this because I wanted to pull an example. Okay, so I think a great example of this is the Basement Yard podcast, which is a full-time podcast on YouTube. But what's notorious and how I found out about them are like the specific clips that I found on TikTok.
Yeah. You ever have a cool dream where like pirates or something and we're sailing the seas and
we're just you getting
fighting
just Greg riding you,
octopus and
just Greg riding you, and then you riding Greg.
Was it you who brought up, by the way, that this is definitely not podcast material? Assassin's Creed is redoing Black Flag.
They're remaking Black Flag.
I just want to be a pirate, dude. What's that game? There's a game where it's like you could be a pirate.
Skull and Bones.
Something.
Sea of Thieves.
Something. Sea of Thieves. Sea of Thieves. See if these balls fit in your throat.
Oh, wow. Joe, can you hit him?
Got him. And got him.
God, it feels good. God, the power of God is in my hands.
Like, I think that is a great usage of it. And again, they're not reinventing the wheel. In fact, they're killing multiple birds with one stone. Again, taking that long form, editing it accordingly, and then chopping it up to share on social media.
Yeah, and if you need any more proof that it works, that is how every successful Twitch streamer gets popular nowadays, is they have a long-form Twitch stream, and then they clip that up and put those all on the short platform.
Yes. Alrighty. Next one is posting every day, even if the quality is low.
This one is a little in the middle, but I'd say primarily trash. If you're just posting every day to post every day and the content and the quality is low, and by quality, I mean the value. So if the value is low, that's complete trash. The quality, I think, can be low or medium. And what I mean by that is you're still giving great value, but you're on a poor camera or you don't have a great background setting. I think that's still helpful and still good. You still could reach an audience. You still can figure out your messaging. But if you're just posting low quality, low value just to keep your feed alive, that's absolute.
Yes. Like I would not encourage posting with like content that you captured on a potato phone, but it is important to get the message out. It is important to get comfortable on screen or like, again, while filming yourself. And the number one person promoting a message is like the owner or founder. And again, you don't need a whole setup to get that message out. So yes. Alrighty, next one. Building content around what your audience searches for.
Premium gas. That's the way to go in 2026 with social media. Think about your audience. Think about what they're searching for, what questions they have for you or your business, and that's the content you should be posting. Because that's what people are doing with social media platforms now. They're opening up TikTok and they're searching for that problem that they're running into. That's how they'll find you nowadays. So start creating content around all of the questions that you've ever been asked about your business.
Yes. And I have to say really quick that I am guilty of this. Like I will pop into TikTok to do a how-to or what is going on here or any, like what are the latest trends. That is where I'm going. And yes, I do think that it's like if you're, again, with plain language or engaging content, like you will get that audience. So very, very strategic. Alrighty, last one. Prioritizing better targeting over higher volume content.
We got another gas. So this is basically going deeper on your content. And we talked about this with all the platforms using AI to leverage their search, to improve their search. Understand who you're talking to, what you're talking about, and where they are. So instead of just creating a post on we help contractors, what type of contractors do you help? Where are they located? Talk about anything that you can in depth, and it's going to reach the right audience. You're going to hyper target those people.
Alrighty, that was the final one.
Fun. Good stuff for that. Yeah, I don't know how to end it. That was this week's OS Marketing Report. Thank you for tuning in, and we'll catch you next week.
Can't wait to see you in the next one.